Hello, I'm Gillian Whiting. This report comes to you from ComCentre Brisbane. ComCentre is an Australian-owned organisation providing corporate-grade managed communications services for IP telephony, fixed-line voice, internet services and video conferencing. ComCentre provides businesses with a unique one-touch communication solution, the amalgamation of voice, video and data into one centralised, affordable and fully managed service. One-touch communication affords an organisation the ability to engage video, voice or data transactions with one click of a mouse. Joining me now to discuss how they've harnessed the latest telepresence video technology to provide video communications in a format that's affordable and easy to use for any size business is Managing Director Ben Shipley. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Gillian.
Can you tell us about the benefits to business of ComCentre's video conferencing?
Yeah, certainly. The benefits are we protect the business through high security, we save them money, and of course we increase their profits through increased productivity.
What sort of video conferencing systems are you using here at ComCentre?
Well, that's a really good question. We really go from the lowest common denominator up to the highest common denominator. So what does that actually mean? It means that we have the smallest systems available, which is PC to PC, just using your inbuilt desk webcam. We do PC to boardroom. We do boardroom to boardroom. We even do boardroom to phone, where we actually can hook up a boardroom to a phone that sits around in an office. And we can do boardroom to boardroom to boardroom across countries.
What I find remarkable is the image quality. It is absolutely so pure.
Hey, it's just amazing, isn't it? When you look at it, you think, how is this actually even possible? Because it's as clear as an eye can see. The high-definition cameras and the high-definition technology has taken years to perfect, and it's actually the same technology that's run by the US military. So what we do is we've got a large what they call hosted system that sits in one of our data centres, and it actually has a bit of fuzzy logic in it which makes that image so amazing, and that's what gives us an ability to be able to use it on different size bandwidths or different size networks. But the video image is so important as a part of the communications experience, because the communications experience means that you can see the person as clearly as I can see you now, which makes communication itself so much easier.
So, Ben, what happens if we're in a boardroom situation with lots of people in the room?
Well, if we're in a boardroom situation, we use our boardroom to boardroom service or services, and we're able to have all of those boardrooms either hooked up if there are multiple, so that they can talk with each other, or we can even just have one person in that boardroom sitting at a remote location, which is really quite a common thing in corporate Australia, both corporate and government Australia.
So you've got that quality and the sound quality as well?
Yeah, most definitely. So the two go hand in hand. So, and that involves around the lighting, the AV, and all of the pieces of the puzzle to make proper boardroom to boardroom work. And
I see you've got video phones on all of your desks.
Yeah, well, that actually came from us using the technology internally, which was around the whole idea of profiting from the technology. We have a number of Asian customers, so we have an Asian office, and we have Australians and Asian people working together and working across two different cultures, and we found that a lot of the times the communication message was being lost. By putting the video phones in, we were able to use that 70% of communication, which is based on the visual, the visual aspect. So we put them and we rolled them out to all of our staff in Asia, and we rolled them out to all of our staff in Australia, and I can't tell you how much errors, miscommunications that were going on in the business, simply because people could see each other and they could talk to each other and use such a big chunk of communication.
So it conquers that cultural divide which may exist.
Perfect. Yes. That's exactly what it does, and it can even conquer cultural divides within an organisation where you've got different regional and city-based areas.
Can you have a conversation with several people at the same time on the system?
Yeah, you can. So you can actually do that from all different types of media as well. So you can use a lower grade system, or not a lower grade system, but a PC-based grade system, a mid-range boardroom system, or even a large boardroom system where you can connect and have those multiple people having conversations at any point in time.
Now, everyone has an iPad, or seems to have an iPad. I take mine everywhere. Can I video conference on my iPad?
Well, it's interesting you asked that. One of our guys here, our operations manager, actually sat and watched a TV program with his children while he was in our Asian operation using his iPad. He had his iPad on his shoulder, sat there and talked to his daughter, and they watched, I think it was MasterChef. So it was,
that's lovely.
You most definitely use your iPads to be able to do that.
And another thing that businesses are becoming more and more reliant on is streaming video.
Well, video streaming is really interesting because we're seeing more and more CEOs, more and more CFOs and a number of different people within an organisation want to talk to their whole organisation, or then with video becoming more pervasive in our society, wanting to talk to a community of stakeholders. So, for example, if you're an automotive dealer, you might want to speak to all of your, mechanics and be able to tell them how to fix a new product better. And video streaming gives you that ability. So the video services can build in video streaming so you can speak to your staff and speak to your stakeholders within a business. So it's an extremely important part of the whole video strategy of an organisation.
OK, we've talked about the technology. What other services does CommCentre offer?
Well, what we do is we wrap the whole technology together to be able to provide that whole idea of one-touch communications, because communications at the end of the day should just work. So the whole concept is by providing the data, the voice and the video, we can make sure that it works every time. We, of course, provide all the auxiliary services around the outside, like recording, streaming, editing, those sorts of services. But the fundamental service of CommCentre is this idea of one-touch communications where we provide voice, video and data, and it's no one else's fault if it doesn't work, it's our fault.
OK, nuts and bolts, how does a customer actually pay for hosted one-touch video service?
It basically works very similar to a Foxtel type service where you have a subscription, we have a number of ports open for you, and then you can use the service whenever you like. Of course, you can buy a system outright yourself, but you might need quite a large checkbook for that one.
You guys really are at the leading edge of video communications, aren't you?
Well, we are. I think it's been a logical extension of our network. Not many people realise we run one of the biggest IP telephony networks in the world. We have over 45,000 nodes in the network, and this has been just the next step of producing or building more value to our customers, or delivering more value to our customers.
And it would seem to me that if you are looking at investing in such a system, it's probably not a good idea to tack bits on as you go along.
Well, it's a bit like tacking on bits to an old car, isn't it? You keep tacking the bits on, eventually the car's going to fall apart. So most definitely the best way to look at it, and especially if you use our hosted solution, the investment's actually relatively low. You can get into this technology, it can be secure, it can be stable, and it can be used for a relatively low price. It's not like having to buy the car again.
Ben, what happens if you're on conference to China and the whole system goes down in the middle of the night?
Yep. So we've invested heavily in the support and the support procedures to be able to back our users. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on Christmas morning, you can talk to one of our staff who will talk you, and I guess on a lot of occasions, more importantly, that your participants, if you're the primary person in the meeting, to get you up and running and make sure that it's working as you need it.
Wonderful. And this is all here at CommCentre, with offices in Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane and Asia. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Gillian.
This is Gillian Whiting from CommCentre.